The topic of the podcast is Enjoy the Ride. The goal of this podcast is to understand why road rage has become a community concern and what we can do to continue enjoying the ride on the road. I love traveling by road, air, and sea. My wife and I have traveled worldwide, driven more than 1 million miles on the road, flown in the air. I have taught at various international locations. When I first started teaching in Nassau decades ago, I used to walk from hotel to downtown without any trouble and watch people playing cricket on my way. Today, roads and airports are crowded worldwide with angry drivers in the automobiles and passengers in the plane. Enjoying the ride, whether on the road or in the air, is becoming a thing of the past, and it is difficult to walk across the street whether you are in New York, Panama City, Beijing, or Berlin. When I was young, attending college, I drove 100 miles to work on the weekends for a better pay in the big city to cover the college expenses. It was a 2 hour drive, and I stayed with my friends on the weekend. I enjoyed the trip home from work on Sunday night, listening to the music of John Denver, Country Road Take Me Home, on 8 track in my 1968 VW Buck. Times have changed, roads are not safe anymore. Our grandson was driving to work on the morning of January 22nd and didn't return home because he was killed in a road rage incident. Road rage is a growing concern for community around the country because loved ones are losing lives on the road because of the rage. We need a plan to prevent loss of life on the road by developing awareness programs, anger management education, and sharing information on legal consequences of raging behavior on the road. We need to work with local law enforcement and legal system to ensure they have a plan to prevent and prosecute the offenders. We have witnessed road rage several times while driving on the road, and they disappear in the traffic after displaying anger, damaging the vehicle, or hurting people. One afternoon, we were driving on the highway. A driver came so close to the truck in front of us, swiped his driver's side mirror, and sped away. Seriousness of the action on the road is realized when you see, feel, and experience. I believe that labeling action of the individual on the road who hurts people, kills others on the road as road rage is not appropriate because it is the action of the person with anger resulting in an injury or death. In other circumstances, when a person kills or attempts to kill someone, the incident is labeled or referred to as attempted murder or murder. If a person poisons someone by mixing it into an alcoholic drink, it's a murder or attempted murder. We do not label it as an alcoholic rage. Changing the label road rage to murder on the road will bring awareness and attention to people with anger issues regarding the severity of the action and consequences of action on the road. I have heard several attorneys representing clients, even prosecutors on the TV, saying it's a case of road rage, referring to the case where someone loved ones was murdered on the road. It is a murder. Murder on the road is a concern for all communities around the country, and we must bring awareness to the community to protect innocent people riding the vehicles to accomplish their daily tasks such as driving to work. To address the situation, we need to understand the problem. Let's look at the road rage situation rationally. The rage on the road is the result of anger, and this behavior does not only appear while on the road. Individual possesses this behavior and probably exhibit it at home and the workplace unless there are consequences for their actions. We need anger management education for drivers with anger issue to reduce the road rage incidents. People with anger must understand that energy they use for anger could be used for several other positive outcomes to enjoy life. The best way to manage anger is first recognize the problem, lead to anger, identify the triggers that leads to anger, and finally, learn to manage the anger. They must understand that anger results from individual behavior patterns. So blaming others on public road is not a rational solution to anger problem. Instead, develop skills to manage emotional energy effectively to reduce the anger. Always remember that being smart and not angry is critical for avoiding incidents on the road. The HALT approach was developed by Stop Rage Organization, which stands for Home, Anger, Legal and Law, and Strategy. It's an excellent approach because it reminds people that good and bad behavior is learned at home. And if it is not recognized and addressed at home, it will lead to public roars. Anger is a negative emotion, and when large amount of energy with high intensity is directed towards anger, it results in negative outcomes on the road, such as road rage. Legal and law enforcement agencies play a critical role in deterrence and punishment to control the rage on the road. Finally, road rage incidents results in tragedy, and it occurs on both sides, and the aggressor faces consequences. Managing anger helps prevent a tragedy on both sides. Driver frustration is expected on the road, whether it's in London, New York, Berlin, Sydney, Hong Kong, Beijing, or any part of the world. It is the result of population growth, increase in automobile ownership, workforce growth, business activity expansion. We are human beings and we are in a crowded public space. The level of anger and anxiety increases. We must learn to manage emotional energy to reduce the conflict in public places and save energy used for anger to accomplish good things in life. You can manage anger and control gas pedal and steering to navigate safely while keeping others on the road safe. Thank you for listening to the podcast.